Hello, I'm Alan Seale from the Center for Transformational Presence. As you're reading along in the Transformational Presence book, you've come across that concept of push against and flow with, or push against or flow with. And so we take that another step further, and we've talked about the three fundamental questions, we've talked about the three fundamental principles. Let's bring that together in this whole idea of, are you talking to life, or are you letting life talk to you? Are you mostly in an output mode, or are you primarily in a receptive mode? Of course, ultimately, we want it to be a full circle so that there's a dialogue going on all the time, that we're listening to life and then we respond. Perhaps we ask a question or we go a little further and then life talks to us. We have this full circle going with whatever it is that we're working with. But how do we actually do that? And what's your sort of default around that? So let's play with this a little bit about, are you talking to life, or are you inviting life to talk to you? So bring to your awareness again something that's going on for you, whatever kind of topic that's getting your attention these days. Just press pause in the video if you need just a moment to choose your topic. And now that you have your topic, just pay attention to it. Primarily, have you been talking to it? Or have you been asking it to talk to you? No judgment about it, just notice what your relationship to it has been. And what if you ask it to talk to you? What if you ask it what it wants, or what is the message it's trying to bring you? Don't worry about how to do that. Just trust that there's some part of you that knows how to listen or sense or feel, that knows how to kind of tap in. Listen, sense, feel. What happens when you let it talk to you? And then as some information comes, maybe you have a question to ask back to life or back to your situation or whatever's going on. Ask a question. Let it talk to you again. So that you begin to practice this dialogue here and see where that's taking you. Letting life talk to you. And then let's choose something else. Choose a project or a goal, something that you want to accomplish. And maybe you're not quite sure how to do it, or maybe you think you're very clear about how to do it. Just for a moment, check in again. Have I been primarily talking to this project, or am I letting it also talk to me? And then whatever you discover, it's okay. Let's practice for a moment. What if you let it talk to you? What's this project want to tell you? What wants to happen there? Who's it asking you to be, and what's it asking you to do? Play with those three questions. Let it talk to you. And then again, when some information comes, if you have a question, ask the question. Again, don't worry about how to do this. Trust some part of you knows how. See what happens when we get into this dialogue. You know, we have these kinds of dialogues with life all the time. We get a hunch about something, we just have a sense about it, and we move forward based on that. However, we don't pay attention often to the fact that that's what we're doing, and therefore we don't practice that and build in our habit of that and learn how to trust that. And so, we're practicing. We're playing with it. Take one more situation. Take a relationship that's really important to you. And we're inviting not you or the other person, but we're inviting the relationship itself. It's its own entity. In any relationship, there are three of you. There's you and the other person, and then there's the relationship itself. So invite the relationship to be with you. And pay attention there. Have you been talking to that relationship, telling it what you want, telling it what to happen? Or have you been listening and sensing and feeling and letting it even invite you? into that relationship on another level. Let it talk to you. What shifts in that relationship for you when you let it talk to you? And again, perhaps there's a dialogue that wants to happen. You create that flow. Who's the relationship asking you to be? And maybe there's a step that the relationship is asking you to take. Remember that, that last question, what's it asking you to do, it's not always an action. It might be asking you to ponder something, to be willing to just be with what's happening for a bit. So it's not always a direct action, go for it. Sometimes it's a stepping back. It's asking me to be quiet for a bit. So are you talking to life? Are you letting life talk to you? Are you primarily in output mode? Or are you sometimes in receptive mode? And what if you practiced being in receptive mode before you went into output mode? Play with this. See where it takes you. See you the next time.